Hello and welcome to Life According to Dana. We took a little time off, but we're back and just here as always to uplift you, give you a couple words of encouragement, and just see what we can discover together. This week, I want to kind of talk to you guys about wrong focus. I've been ministering to and counseling a lot of people about where their focus lies. And what I'm discovering, and I mean discovering, it's a work in progress, is that a lot of times we focus on the wrong things. A lot of times I always say people major on the minor and minor on the major because we place emphasis on things that are directing us into the wrong outcomes. A lot of times, we focus on what we don't have instead of what we do have. And so when we start focusing on what we don't have, we are actually robbing God of his praise that's due to him. Instead of us entering into a posture of blessing the Lord for the things that he's given us, we walk away sounding a little bit ungrateful because we're focusing on what we don't possess or what we want. And so that's just a trick of the enemy, and it's his way of robbing God of his praise. Remember, the enemy is masterful at diverting attention away from God because he wants the emphasis placed on him. But the devil is a liar. Let's bust him out and up today because we want to shift our focus to the things that God is doing in our lives, the things that God has moved on for us, the things that have giving us opportunities that we wouldn't have if it had not been for the Lord on our side. So instead of placing your focus on the things that you feel like are, not coming your way or that you just won and you haven't obtained yet, begin to thank God for the things that you do have, because then you're moving from a grateful heart. I know people always say, I don't want to sound selfish, but a lot of times that's exactly what it is. And that's the enemy's trick to try and make you feel, just to accentuate on the things that you don't have. He wants you to look right at what's missing or what you think is missing in your life. But see, here's the thing about God. I always say this. He has the whole picture. He has the big picture, and he can see where if you had that particular thing right now in your life, it would take you off focus. It would take you away from your destiny instead of to your destiny. A lot of times we pick things according to where we are instead of where we're going. I remember hearing a preacher say a lot of people, get divorced because they say they outgrew the relationship. But what it was you picked someone up along the way that was suited for where you were right then, instead of trying to select someone that was suited for the long haul, someone that could walk with you to the end of your story instead of in your moment. So a lot of times this is what we're doing. We're selecting things, people, places for the moment instead of where we're going or for the long haul or to the end of our destinies. And a lot of people can't hang through the testimonies or through the trials and tribulations that you're going to encounter along the way. So you have to be selective with friends, with mates, with people that are going to be in your life. A lot of times people are just supposed to be temporary in our lives, and we try to make them lifelong partners. So we have to be careful how we select the things that are going to be part of our life. Because if you have the wrong people, the wrong things in your life, that too can shift your focus off of what you have and giving God glory and giving God praise for what he's already done in your life. So if you're always focusing on the, what's coming ahead or what you want to see happen, then you're missing what's happening right now. It's like you could be so focused on your child growing up to be this or that you miss the accomplishments that your child is doing right in front of you because you're so focused on what's ahead instead of appreciating what's right there. So let's be careful of that. Let's be mindful of that. And let's try not to, have our focus always, lying, on what's coming ahead. There's nothing wrong with preparing for the future or, establishing things that are going to benefit you in the future. It's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about today is having the wrong focus in the moment and always trying to look at what you don't have instead of appreciating what you do. When I got this revelation of how when you're so focused on the things that are missing in your life, that is actually stealing praise away from God, it blew my mind because I had really never quite looked at it in that broader scope of things where you're actually stealing or just diminishing what you have and you're stealing the praise away from God because you're really acting like what he's done so far isn't enough or it's not good enough. And that is so ungrateful, but it's also dangerous because you're beating yourself out of what you have coming. We're supposed to have a grateful heart, we're supposed to have a joyful heart, and all these things. But if you're so focused on what you don't have, you won't even realize that everything you're doing is geared towards getting that thing. All your posts will be about that thing. All your conversations will be about that thing. And you're so focused on getting that thing that you'd miss everything else that's going on. And that is how the enemy steals the praise away from God. So are we participating in this madness unbeknownst, or are we willingly participating in this? That's the question that only you can answer. So examine yourself, check yourself, look at how you're posturing yourself. Are you giving God praise for the things that he's doing or he's already done in your life? And are you giving him just the all out glory, all out praise for what he's doing in your life? Or are you sitting around whining about what's gone or what you don't have or how this didn't work or how that didn't work? I have a lot of things that have occurred in my life, marriages, just all kinds of ministry things that have occurred that I would have really liked for them to have played out a different way. But I can't get so focused on those things that didn't work the way I wanted them to, that I negate to give God the glory for the rescue that actually occurred when he got me out of some of those mad situations, out of some of that madness. And you can really miss opportunities to give God praise and glory by focusing on what went wrong, by focusing on who did what to who and how this happened. And you will miss the opportunity to recognize that a rescue mission actually occurred in your life, that God actually stepped in and saved your life. Instead of you dying in that situation, he pulled you out of that situation that you might go on and testify of his glory, that you might go on and share your liberation story with others, that they might be set free too. But if you're focusing on what you feel like was destroyed or lost, then you can't help anybody else. And I'm going to just tell you, you're really not helping yourself either, because you're sitting there and you're complaining about what's gone, and it will literally make you miss what really happened. I remember a situation where things were just chaotic, and I mean absolutely off the chain crazy. And I just had this sensation that I was being rescued. And I had no understanding of it. And I just kept feeling that like I had been saved from something. And so at one point I just said, God, I don't understand this feeling that I was rescued away from something or out of something. And I don't really see what it is right now, but I just want to tell you, thank you. And I'm sure you'll explain it to me later, but then again, maybe you won't. But I just want to take the opportunity to thank you now because I just had this sense of feeling rescued. Oh my goodness. As the months went on and I began to recognize what God had really rescued me from, I found myself on the floor almost daily for about 2 weeks, just crying out to God, thanking Him for what He had really rescued me from. When you shift your focus off of the disaster and the chaos, revival will come to your soul. When you take the focus off of what you do not have or what you want or what you think you should have right now, you will begin with a joyful heart to give God the praise and the glory. And a lot of times, let me say this as well. You need to just tell God thank you, whether you got the full story or not, whether you have full understanding of this or not. Get your focus off of what you don't have and just begin to tell God thank you for what you do, and thank you for the things that are unseen to you, but you are trusting God through faith that He is working on your behalf. Once again, Life According to Dana, just wanted to share this with you. Remember, check your focus. Be grateful for what you have. And with a grateful heart, give God praise and give Him the glory. Love you guys and see you back here next time. Be blessed. Take care.